Hi everyone, it's the engineer here. Hope everyone's doing well this week. Before I get started, there's a couple things I wanted to go over. Down in the description below, you're going to find a link to my Google Doc. Inside that Google Doc, there's highlighted items of the week with everything that's being sold this week as well. And the gun's max base damage percentage. So if it's an 80% roll, it's 80% of its maximum potential of the base damage that it could have rolled. Also, you'll find timestamps down in the description too, if you want to watch any part of the video again. Alright, down in the special equipment vendor, you have the Cassidy. The Cassidy is doing 85% of its maximum base damage. Has the talents Ferocious, Destructive, and of course Boomstick. So Destructive is a good talent, good damage talent this patch. Ferocious is probably the talent I'd roll off here. So it's sitting at a high base damage value, good damage talents. Cassidy's a good pick this week if you're looking for a Cassidy. With the Pakhan, we have Self-Preserved, Trained, and Pakhan as the talents there. It's looking at a 79% of its base damage, so not a bad base damage roll, but in my opinion, these talents aren't really salvageable. So past the Pakhan. Centorion's 32% of its base damage with Adept as a talent, passing the Centurion here. At the Libeator, it's sitting at 44% of its base damage potential. It's not a really good damage roll. It has Vicious, Focused, Unforgiving. Vicious and Unforgiving isn't too bad, but Focus is a high electronics roll, so you're probably going to roll off Focus if you wanted to pick this up. I'd personally pass this week on the Libeator. Going down to the Centorion here, the Centorion's sitting at 32% of its base damage potential. Not very good. It has Harmful, Competent, and History Repeats. Competence, high electronics. History Repeats requires high firearms, so I'd pass on the Centorion as well. It's really not a good pickup. Nothing special with the rest of the guns. You have your 93R with Fierce and AUG. G36, high base damage, bad talents. SASG, it's got Predatory and Ferocious on it. I mean, not terrible talents there, I guess. SRS, nothing good. Black Market M60, and nothing special there. And this Predator's Mark Mask here is really good. It has above average armor, a 930. It's got 1260 stamina, great stamina roll, damage, enemy armor damage, which is a good roll there for Predator's Mark. You want more damage to make your bleed higher. And then I'd probably roll a minor tribute out of increased kill XP for burn resistance or something else like that. The Sentry calls chest piece has higher armor, Deadeye chest piece if you're looking for that. Then the Lone Star Backpack, nothing good there. So you get down to these Reclaimers gloves here. It has 993 armor, so pretty high armor roll. Bad firearms roll, but it has assault rifle damage, which is the main gun everybody uses. Skill haste, which is good on Reclaimer to lower that skill cooldown time. So if you want to pick up a good Reclaimers gloves, those are pretty good. The rest of the stuff in this vendor wasn't very good this week. Alright, over at the Blueprint vendor, you got the ACR again, AK-47. Buy every gun blueprint that you can. Never know when they'll come in handy. Stamina knee pads, nothing special. Firearms gloves, I'd recommend buying these ones because you could roll a perfect pair of Savage gloves for firearms, since firearms really good this patch. Vertical grip, nothing special I guess for an SMG. If you want an extended mag, pick this up because they're changing the ranges to 121%, so you're going to want to be able to craft your perfect level 34 extended mag. Stamina and electronics mod, pick this up if you haven't already. You got the low level holster blueprint. And then you have down here this Black Market SASG. Pick this up for Last Stand. Nobody's talking about it, but you're going to want to do this. Pick up these low level things. This SASG, this holster, you can recalibrate it however you want for Last Stand and use it. And just show you, I'm going to pick one up myself because it's a good steal. So I recommend picking up every low level thing you can for Last Stand. Alright, over at the Firewall Safe House here, you have a good Firearms Mod. 261 firearms out of 267, good roll, and it also has health. So if you're looking for that, I recommend picking it up. At Dante's run here, you have a good Inventive Backpack there. It has low armor, but it has high electronics, skill power, and burn resistance. So I wouldn't be personally too worried about the low armor, because if you're trying to be a skill build, you're really only worried about the skill power. So the fact that you have Inventive, it's going to give you that 15% more bonus at full health, and the high electronics, it's a good pickup. So I recommend picking it up. At the Cavern, there's a stamina mod here that's also pretty good. It has 265 out of 267 stamina and skill power. So if you're looking for a stamina skill power mod, pick it up. Okay, and over at West 53rd here, we have a prototype performance mod. It has ballistic shield damage resilience. It's a max roll, so if you're looking for that for defense build, I'd recommend picking it up. It's here. At West 39th, there's a sturdy holster. It has 1200 across the board and health, so it's a good roll all the way around if you're looking for a build to lean up against the wall in a legendary mode mission. At East 34th, you have the SASG, which is really good with the stagger this patch. It's sitting at 73% of its base damage, so it's a high base damage roll, good gun. Has destructive and deadly on it for damage talents. It has determined as well. I'd recommend rolling determined off it to pick up an additional damage talent, such as responsive is probably what I would put on this here. Heading over to Park Ave, there is a 93R. It's sitting at 50% of its base damage, so not great, but it has harmful on it, which is something that's good if you run around on DZ if you want it. Also, there's a black market SASG. It's sitting at 31% of its damage. Not great damage, but it has brutal and predatory, so if you're looking to flip to it, kill somebody and pick up that predatory right quick, that's a pretty good pickup. At East 61st here, we have a sight that has critical hit chance, headshot damage, and critical hit damage, so it has the trio that you're looking for. I recommend picking this up if you like it. Okay, over at the DZ03 safe house, there is a good LVOAC this week. It's sitting at 79% of its base damage, so pretty high base damage roll. It's got Unforgiving, it's got Swift, Destructive. Unforgiving and Destructive here are pretty high damage talents, so I'm probably going to drop off Swift if I want to pick up this LVOAC. Put Responsive or something on it is what I would recommend for a more higher damage talent. So good pickup if you're looking for it. At DZ08, we got a Refresh Mask here. It has a high armor roll with 999, high firearms roll, at high exotic damage and disorient resistance. So a good pickup if you're looking for a Refresh Mask that's firearms. Probably drop off the disorient resistance for burn resistance. Running around back here, DZ08, we'll find a Tactician Authority Mask. Decent armor roll at 941. High stamina. It's got skill power already in place. If you're going to run a Tactician Authority Mask, you're going to want skill power on it. Also, a Reclaimer Vest is back here with high armor, high stamina roll, health, and enemy armor damage. I'd roll off the enemy armor damage for skill haste. Good pickup if you're looking for a Reclaimer Vest. At DZ09, we have another Tactician's Authority Mask. It has decent armor, great electronics roll. If you want an electronics Tactician Authority Mask, I'd roll off the health on kill for skill power. Not a bad pickup if you need the mask there. Also, I know Sentry Call isn't the best this patch, but there's a good Sentry Call backpack here. It's really good. It's 1301 armor out of 1334. High firearms, health right where you need it, and I'd probably take burn resistance over the bleed resistance that's sitting here on the backpack. Last but not least, this Reclaimer holster here has decent armor at 922. It's not the best, but it's not bad. Good firearms, stamina, and health roll. You can re-roll for electronics, and you have good Reclaimer's holster if you need one this patch. And that's going to wrap up this week's vendor reset video. Overall, a couple good items here, good LVOAC. Good SASG Blueprint. I'm telling you guys, those low-level items are worth the pickup for Last Stand. But without further ado, go down, check out the Google Doc that we have down in the description. It's going to have the items of the week, the gun's base damage. It's a really good resource for you to refer back to after this video. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the material that you saw.